obviously there's so many people to thank for the opportunity to play in college soccer's best stadium. A lot of people have worked hard to get it ready for our season. Again, Able Construction have been phenomenal. Dr. Lynn's support right from the beginning. It wouldn't happen without their investment in our programs, but more importantly in the student athletes. And we certainly want to thank them. There's two things that really make this season so exciting. One is playing in the new stadium. It is going to be clearly the best stadium in college soccer, and with that, we're going to provide our players the best facility, as well as our fans the best facility to watch college soccer. The second part is going into the ACC, which allows us now to develop new relationships, new rivalries, and bring, quite honestly, for both programs, the finest opponents in college soccer to our stadium and here. Both are and have been the best conferences in college soccer, both for men and women. And now to have them here and host them is going to be even more special for our programs as well as the stadium as well. So we're so excited for both of those reasons. It'll be a landmark season, and one we also encourage people to come out and be a part of this season, not just the first game, but the season. And with that, encourage the fans to come out for the first game because our anticipation is that the ticket's going to be hard to come by. So we would recommend that if you want to be a part of that first game, that landmark game, is to get them early.
For both the coaches, from a coach's perspective, I mean, we can drive by and see it, progressing. But from a coach's perspective, what's the impact that the move to the ACC and this new stadium has already had for both of you?
The quality of student athletes that we're able to get on campus now, to take a visit to see the university, to see the stadium, to compete in the best conference, has been monumental. That's been crazy for us to be bringing in the caliber of student athletes that we're bringing in. So now the big piece is we've got to get one of them, but certainly I think those are the most important pieces for us to continue to grow our programs, to develop soccer in the city, to develop soccer in the region, and ultimately for the country.
Yeah, for me initially, it's my heart rate goes up every time that I get closer to the stadium and I see it. There's a genuine excitement for it, and what happens is initially for all those recruits and people that are interested in our program, the initial drawings were great, but now when we get them actually in the facility, when you get them around it, you can see the genuine excitement, and there's a momentum building because of that. That the more people that actually see it, whether it's them driving by or actually stand in the stadium, there's a growing momentum of excitement that's it's encouraging for our programs and anticipating a lot of growth because of it.
Are you guys nationally colleagues talking to you about how lucky you are, how fortunate you are? I mean, because of what you're getting, the facility you're getting.
The first statement, I was actually in Philadelphia this weekend at the Philadelphia Union. I was watching trainings, I was watching their youth, and the first question from every coach, whether it was John Hackworth, who was the head coach of the Union, or everybody involved with their youth program, was how is the facility coming along? Where are you at? When are you going to get started? And if in the circle of college soccer or professional or youth soccer, that tends to be the first question that we're getting asked.
Just for perspective, Anson Dorrance is probably the figurehead for women's soccer, and he asked if he could play all of his home games in our stadium. So I think it definitely has reverberated throughout women's soccer and certainly throughout men's soccer.
For either coach, how many times, if any, have you guys been in the stadium and have you actually taken recruits in there to get an idea of what they'll be playing?
Yeah, we've taken our student athletes to go in there and to get excited about the facility that they'll be playing in. And definitely we've taken some recruits in there as well. Probably not been there for like 2 weeks, so I'm really as excited as you are to get in there and see it because it changes every single time we go in there.
Yeah, same with us is we're in there on a regular basis, just watching the growth, the updates of it. our student athletes, our players have been in there as well as prospective student athletes as well.
I know both of you have talked about how exciting it is to see the progress as it goes. Was there a moment where you thought, where it made that big leap forward? Like for me, you know, I drive past it every day, but when that canopy came up was a big moment. Was there a moment like that for you?
I think the roof is a signature element of it. And for sure, it's one of those things that not only was it awesome to see the roof up, but you understand how big the stadium is. It's awesome. And the roof means so much. It is a signature, but it also means that we're providing our fans a place where the elements are not going to be a factor so much. And I think that's a wonderful thing in building the stadium. It's not just about coming up to watch, but watching it in the best possible atmosphere possible.
The canopy definitely was awesome, but I think as I'm driving on 65 now and I see the words Louisville written out in the stadium seats, that's pretty impressive also. So those two pieces definitely were moments for me.
How much time before, obviously the big opening day is August 29th, but will you get a chance to go in there and kind of just have a practice in there to get a feel for it beforehand, or is that just going to be your first chance to get in and play on the surface?
I think we both hope that we can get in there before August 29th. No one's really telling us today. You know, we have preseason. Our preseason opens August 5th, so the goal would be to at least have our offices and the kids' locker rooms in there. But maybe the 28th we can get a little practice, a little run around before our first game.
It's likely that we'd like to be in there more than we're gonna, but I'm sure we're gonna get some opportunities prior to that, at least to get on the field and obviously to be in our offices prior to that day.
Have you guys seen an increase in ticket sales for season tickets, or has that not started yet?
I definitely think that started, and I'm sure we don't really deal with the ticket end of things, but I'm sure. I mean, everyone's going to want to get in there to see the facility, and like Ken said, you don't want to be on the tail end of that. You want to be on the front end of that to make sure that you can get in there for all of the games.
Just talk about the schedule, and not only do you have this facility, but like you were talking about the schedule earlier, both of you now with the ACC and with the teams that are coming here this year, and kind of what you're facing going into the season.
It'll likely be our best schedule in recent history. Not only, again, for us, we have traditional local rivals like the Big Ten schools of Indiana and Ohio State and Kentucky and St. Louis. Those are, you know, some schools we'll play every year, but then you start throwing in, you know, Duke and Clemson, and, you know, those type of schools that we're going to be playing as well, and Wake Forest, and it all of a sudden ramps up the schedule that much more. You know, our hope each and every year is that the schedule is one that prepares us for postseason play in two ways. One is RPI, because your RPI will dictate where you fall in postseason and what your seed is. But just from a play standpoint of being prepared mentally and physically to play against the best teams in the country, and I think this schedule is going to do both.
For the athletes, you know, what's your take on it? You guys have got to be getting excited to go out there and kick the ball around.
Casey, you can start football.
Sure.
No, I'm definitely super excited. I mean, what more could a student athlete ask for to play in best conference in college soccer and then also the best stadium? I mean, there's nothing more that I could have asked for to have a senior year. I mean, I'm truly extremely excited for it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I mean the same. It's just amazing to. I really think like we're really blessed, you know, to have that facility. You know, this spring it was just a blessing, you know. We usually train at Traeger because it gets really cold, so we got to see the progress day by day, you know, going, you know, from our car park to Traeger, and it was just amazing, you know, to see the progress. And I mean, we're a team that is, you know, setting goals and visualizing. So now that we see the stadium every day, it just gives us, you know, encouragement and perspective to keep going forward and keep moving forward to get those goals.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like when it's packed for opening night and you guys come running out?
Yeah, I mean, we visualize. You know, that's one of the things that we do in training. Visualize ourselves, you know, being successful and you know, bringing, you know, the best soccer to the city and to the fans and let you know the best.
For either of the coaches, is it too early to start thinking that the stadium may host major NCAA soccer events?
Well, I know for us, they've awarded 4 years out. So 4 years out, we're not in the plans for the NCAA. So it's not in the near future. Down the line, possibly, I would like to think so. But not in the next 4 years for us.
Same with us, same thing. So we've got to wait 4 years, but I'm sure we'll be on the docket 4 years from now.
The 29th, the doubleheader, that's the first game anybody will get into? Karen, you get lucky. You get to go first, right?
Yeah, that's true. I think it's going to be an unbelievable night. So we play Ole Miss that night, and then play after that against Maryland. 2 quality opponents for both of us, nationally recognized opponents. I think they're saying the stadium can hold 5,300. I'm sure there'll be 10,000 people, so people better get there early.
Any other questions? Very good. All right. Thanks, coaches. Athletes.
Thank you.
Media for the tour.